Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to discuss about comparative assessment of waste generation and composition in developing and developed nations. So the agenda of today's presentation is introduction, how is waste generated, different types of waste, statistics of waste generation in developing nations, importance of understanding waste generation for sustainable development, purpose of comparing waste patterns in developed and developed nations, waste management challenges in developing nations, and at the end let's end with conclusion. So coming to my introduction, I'm a first year bachelor of engineering student at SVC Bangalore. My name is Sai Nandan and I belong to Audi session. My branch is computer science and engineering. So coming to the point, first understanding anything, let's see how waste is generated. So the waste can be generated by different means. So the first means or the main means in which waste is generated in a developing nation is residential and municipal waste. So residential and municipal waste mainly include household waste, domestic waste. And the next type of waste that we are discussing is commercial and industrial activities. So commercial waste mainly includes the water that's used as coolant in the boiler. That's a main composition of this waste. And other means are the remains of the raw material that are used in industrial activities. That also comes under this category of waste. Agricultural practices. Agricultural waste mainly includes the rotten fruits and rotten vegetables, and it also includes the remains of plants. And agricultural waste also includes the littering of animals. Healthcare sector mainly includes medical waste. So this medical waste is actually very dangerous for humankind if not treated properly. This include many harmful disease causing pathogens. So we need to treat this medical waste very carefully before letting into the environment. Electronic waste includes unused e-waste such as unused mobile phones, unused any electronic gadget, unused wires. That everything comes under electronic waste. Mining and demolition waste. Mining and demolition waste mainly include the glass, the cement, the remains of mining, and that kind of waste. Construction waste includes the iron rods, the unused iron rods, the unused glass, the unused cement. This comes under construction waste. Wastewater and sewage. The useless water that's let out of a household goes into the sewage. So that is a main source of sewage or wastewater. Social and public waste include the same thing as residential waste, all the littering and stuff. Then educational waste. Educational waste is the waste generated from educational institutions. So we are seeing different means by which waste is generated. Let's see different types of waste. So different types of waste is organic waste, hazardous waste, solid waste, liquid waste, and recyclable waste. Organic waste include all the agricultural waste that is generated. Hazardous waste include the industrial waste or the radioactive waste that actually poses a serious kind of uh, thing to the humankind. Solid waste. Solid waste include all the residential waste that is solid in state. Liquid waste, the sewage or wastewater comes under liquid waste. Recyclable waste, the plastics, the material that's used for packing and stuff, that comes under recyclable waste. So plastic is a good example for recyclable waste. Statistics of waste generation in developing and developed nations. So we need to see why it is important that we are comparing the statistics of the waste generation in developing and developed nations. So we can see in the graph that in 2016 the waste generated is 468 tons, and that number by 2050 is going to 714 tons. So we need to play the crucial waste generation plays a crucial role in maintaining this amount of waste. So importance of understanding waste generation for sustainable development. So resource conservation. Knowledge of waste helps to identify opportunities for resource conservation. By understanding the type and the quantity of waste produced, efforts can be made to reduce resource consumption through waste minimization and recycling. Environmental impact. Waste, especially when improperly managed, can have a severe environmental consequences. Understanding waste generation allows for the implementation of sustainable waste management practices, minimizing pollution, habitat destruction, and soil and waste contamination. Energy conservation. The production, transportation, and disposal of waste requires energy. By understanding waste patterns, efforts can be directed towards reducing energy consumption associated with waste management process. Climate change mitigation. Certain type of waste such as organic waste in landfills contribute to the generation of greenhouse gases like methane. Sustainable waste mitigation practices including composting and anaerobic digestion can help in mitigate climate change. Circular economy promotion. Understanding waste generation is integral to the concept of circular economy, where materials are reused, recycled, and repurposed. This reduces the dependence on the finite resources and minimizes the environmental impact of production and consumption. Public health and safety. Poorly managed waste can pose significant risks like public health. Knowledge about waste composition is potential hazard allows for all development to strategies to produce commute like exposure to harmful substances. Ecosystem preservation. Uncontrolled waste disposal can harm ecosystem and biodiversity. By understanding waste generation, sustainable waste management practices can be implemented to preserve natural habitats and protect wildlife. Purpose of comparing waste patterns in developed and developing nations. Identifying disparities. Comparison highlights the disparities in waste generation, composition, and management between developed and developing nations. Understanding these differences is crucial for developing targeted inventions and policies. Informing sustainable development strategies. Insight into waste patterns contributes to the formulation of sustainable development strategies. By including the challenges and strengths of waste management systems in different contexts, nations can develop strategies that are effective and context specific. Resource allocation. Comparison helps in allocating resources efficiently. Developing nations with a better understanding of waste patterns in developed countries can make informed decisions about resource allocation for waste management, infrastructure, and technology. Technology transfer and capacity building. Developed nations often have advanced management technologies and practices. Comparing waste management facilities, technologies transfer, and capacity building in developing nations, enabling them to adopt more efficient and sustainable waste management practices. Environmental impact assessment. Comparative studies allow for the assessment of the environmental impact of different waste management practices. This information is essential for developing environmentally friendly waste management systems and minimizing negative ecological effects. Global cooperation and partnerships. Comparing waste patterns encourages global comparison and participation. Partnerships. Developed nations can share best practices and provide support to developing nations in improving their waste management infrastructure and practices. Waste management challenge in developing nations. Limited infrastructure. Many developing nations lack adequate waste management infrastructure, including waste collection systems, recycling facilities, and sanitary landfills. This limitation contributes to the prevalence of open dumping and burning, leading to the environmental pollution. Rapid urbanization. The high rate of urbanization in developing nations puts immense pressure on waste management systems. Cities often grow faster than development of infrastructure, leading to the increased waste generation and inadequate disposal facilities. Informal waste sector. In absence of formal waste management system, informal waste pickers often play a significant role in waste collection and recycling. While they contribute to recycling efforts, their work is often unregulated and they face health and safety risks. Lack of public awareness. Limited awareness among the public about the environmental impact of improper waste disposal and the importance of waste reduction and recycling poses a challenge. Effective waste management requires public participation and cooperation. Inadequate funding. Financial constraints often hinder the development and maintenance of proper waste management infrastructure. Lack of funding can lead to the ineffective waste collection services, limited recycling initiatives, and sufficient disposal facilities. Health and environmental risks. Improper waste disposal practices such as open dumping and burning can pose a serious health and environmental risk. The release of harmful pollutants and toxins from waste can contaminate air, soil, and water, affecting both human health and ecosystem. So at the end, let's conclude by saying that understanding comparative assessment of waste generation and composition in developing and developed nations plays an important role in waste management.